Hey guys, today I'm going to be showing you how to create my Jewel Haven bracelet. I'm going to do a transfer method today so that you can make a full wraparound bracelet without an extension and only need one loom. So for today's bracelet, you'll need 101 bands total. The breakdown is 21 of the white, 10 of the tie-dye, 20 of the orange, 20 of the blue, and 20 of the pink. And you'll also need 10 of whatever color you want for this cap band right there. You will also need 3 C-clips for helping us during the transfer part. And you also want 10 beads. If you don't have any beads, you can still make this, just so you know. But with the beads, you also want to have a hook to attach them on. So either one of these little loom hooks or a double-ended hook would work as well. To make this bracelet, you need to have one rainbow loom. Make sure you have it in the normal staggered position. If you're not familiar with the transfer method, what we do is lay the bands, loop them all up, and then we take that piece off and set it to the side. We then lay the loom again, but the second time we go to loop it up, we attach the first piece onto the loom, and then we loop it up from there. So, of course, I will show you it all. I just wanted to give you a little bit of a preview. But the first thing that we're going to be doing is laying the bands that sit in the very center, which for me is white. And that's what I'm going to use right now. And we are just going to lay this going straight down the middle. For this first set, we're going to be laying 11 straight ones. So that means you will not go all the way to the end of the loom. We're going to be stopping one short of the end. So don't bring it down to the very end. Now we are going to choose our next color, which is going to be the blue on this one. I'm going to use this tie-dye pink purple, and we're going to be laying some horizontal bands. So we are going to start by laying this one on the second row, like so. We're going to skip the next one, come up to the one after that, and that's where our next one will go. We're going to be laying this on every other row. There should be a total of 5. This is where my last one is. So you see there's nothing going across the last center band. It should be the one before it. So if you count all of your horizontal bands, there should be 5 of them. I would go through and push that down. Once you do that, we're going to choose our main colors, which is going to be these 3 here. But the first one that we're going to be laying is actually going to be the middle color, and that's the blue one. So for this very first pin, we're going to lay it loosely. So I'm using blue. I'm going to lay it loosely on the right pin and loosely on the left pin. For your next color, it's going to be the pink. So this one here, or in this section up here, you can see it's right here. So I'm using pink again right now. And from that same pin that we laid the blue on, we're just going to go diagonally into the center from the left and then from the right. We're going to come up to where this horizontal band is here. And we're going to start laying the pattern, but we're going to start with the orange color. It's very important that you do lay the bands exactly as I am laying them, because it's very important to the looping process. So the first one, we're going to start right here on the left where the horizontal band is and go diagonally into the center. Then you're going to grab your second color, which is whatever loose band you laid there. That's the color you're grabbing now. And you're going to go diagonally outwards. And then with your third color, which is whatever color you have right here, you're going to bring it back inwards. So it's kind of making a little zigzag. After the entire left side of that section is done, we're going to do the same thing on the right side. So you will lay your orange going inwards, blue going out, and then the pink will go back inwards. Like that. And we're going to keep laying that for each section. But you must lay the whole left side first and then the right side. So come up to where your next horizontal band is, lay your orange, your blue. I grabbed pink by accident. And then pink. And then we'll do the same on the right side. So we'll go in with the orange, out with the blue, and back in with the pink. And that's what we're going to keep doing up the loom. So it will look like this after each section is complete. And we have to lace some cap bands now. I'm going to use this glow-in-the-dark green. We're going to start on the second pin in the middle, and it's just wrapped around 2 times. We're going to skip the next pin and come up to the next one and put our next cap band. Where all of the bands are meeting like this, that's where the cap band should go. So for me, all of my pinks are getting a cap band on them. So that's what it should look like. And now you can go ahead and turn your loom around. And we are ready to start looping. So the first thing we're going to be doing is looping out our zigzags. So we'll start by going inside this first cap band here. And if you laid it exactly like I did, we're going to be looping this left side first. So we're going to go into the cap band, grab the top band and bring it back to itself, which will go to the left. Then you're going to go into that pin, the pink band that we just created, and we're going to loop the blue to the middle. And then from the middle, we'll go into that band, grab the top one, and bring that back to itself, which will go to the left. So it made like a little zigzag. After you're done looping all 3 of those, you're going to grab the entire band that's on the middle pin and let it go. Now, once you release it, now we can go ahead and loop the right side. So we're going to come back into this cap band, grab the top band that's inside of there, which is my pink, bring it to the right. You're going to go into your pink band, grab your blue and bring that to itself, which is to the middle. And then you'll go into the blue band and loop that orange to itself like so. After you're done looping each section, you have to come back to the middle and you're going to release the blue band like so. And now we can go ahead and do our next section. So that's what we're going to do over and over again. So we'll come up to this cap band here, go inside the cap band and loop the pink to itself. Then you'll go into that band and loop the blue to the middle. And then you'll go into the middle and loop the orange to itself like so. Mine's a little messy, so I'm going to fix it. So we have to come back to the middle and release the blue band like so. I had a hair in my loom, guys. Sorry, I had to remove it. Surprised that's the first time it's ever happened because my hair is always all over the place. But we're going to come back to the cap band and now we're going to go ahead and loop the right side. So this part is very easy as far as the bands are just going back to themselves. Once you looped all 3, come back to the middle and release the middle bands like that. Come up to the next cap band and loop your zigzag out. Remember, you always have to do the left side first. Come back to the middle and release the blue. And then you can loop the right. We do not add the beads on until we loop up the center. So we're just going to keep doing this step until all of our sections are completed. In my last video, I mentioned that I was going to be getting surgery on the 19th. I got a phone call today that they had a last minute cancellation. So now I'm going to be going in tomorrow for my surgery, and I'm kind of freaking out. So it may in fact affect my videos for a little while. I don't really know yet. So I'll keep everybody kind of updated, but that's why I'm trying to get this second video filmed. And hopefully I don't miss an upload this week. Well, I know I won't this week because I already have one ready, but I wanted to have 2 ready for this week. After all of your sections are looped out and you're at the top of your loom, the only thing you're going to do with this one is loop the pinks back to themselves. So you're going to do the same thing as far as going in the cap band. Grab the top band that's in there and bring it to the left, and then the second one will go to the right. Like so. And that's all we're going to do for that. For now, we're going to come back to the beginning, and now we're going to be looping up the whites, the straight white ones, and then the horizontal tie-dye. So this is where you're going to want to have your beads close by and whatever hook you're going to be using to attach them on. So the first thing we're going to do is come into the very first cap band down here, and we're going to loop that band forward. Now we're going to stop and grab a bead. So since I'm using this hook, I'm just going to use this side of it. I'm going to pop my bead onto the hook like that. We're going to pick up this entire band on our hook. And you need to take it off of the pin, but make sure you're holding it tight so that it doesn't fall off. And then you're going to slide the bead all the way onto that band. Once it's at 100% on there, you're going to reattach the band onto the pin. Like so. Sorry, there's a train going by. So make sure you get both bands back on there. You can see that I have 2 of them there. Make sure they're both back on, and now we can continue. So after your beaded band is on, we're going to go into that same pin, grab the bottom band, and loop that forward. Now we're going to come to the sides and loop the horizontal band. So I do the left side first, grab the horizontal tie-dye and bring it to the middle, and then bring the right side to the middle. So we just completed one whole section, and we're going to do that all over again. So we'll start by going into this pin, grabbing the bottom band and loop it straight. After you loop that first one, that's when we need to attach the bead on. So I'm going to grab another bead. I'm holding the bead with my finger. I put the hook down into the band that's on there, and I pull it off of the pin. Make sure you're pulling the band tight so you don't lose it, and then push that bead down onto the band and reattach the band onto the pin. And then we will continue. So we will go back into that same pin and loop the white forward. And then we will come back here to the horizontal and bring that to the center. Make sure you do the right side as well. We'll loop the bottom band in this pin forward. And we're ready to add our bead on again. So pick up the entire band, push the bead down onto it, and then pull that band back onto the pin. And that's what we're going to keep doing. So we'll loop the white one straight. We will loop the horizontal to the middle. And now we will loop the bottom white band straight again. And this is where we will add our bead on. We will loop the bottom band up and the horizontal. After your horizontal is looped and you loop the bottom white forward, that is when you need to keep adding on your beaded band. when you reach the top here, just like we've been doing, I just looped my horizontal to the middle. I'm going to loop my weight forward, and this is where we add our bead on. Now this is where we're going to be also taking it off of the loom for the transfer. If you wanted to add the bead on after we reconnect it for the transfer, you can, but I'm just in the habit of doing it now, so I'm going to add my bead on right now. And instead of reattaching it onto the loom, I'm going to add a C-clip. So I've just added my last bead, and now I'm going to grab one of my C-clips, and you're going to C-clip this white band. Make sure you got it through both of them before you let it go. And now we need to get 2 more C-clips so that they're close by. And we're going to grab this blue band that we have laying here loosely, and we're going to bring both ends together. Once you do that, you're going to get a C-clip and C-clip this blue band. My son is on Xbox and he's up there like being way too loud. Do the same thing on the right side. Bring both ends together and then C-clip that as well. So once you do that, I do recommend using your hook to release all of these bands, because if you just go ripping this off of the loom, it does get a little bit messy and you have to really fiddle with it. So I recommend using your hook, releasing all of the sides, and then you can just pull off the middle of the bracelet like normal. So this is what mine looks like when I take it off of the loom. This is where we will be reattaching it, but for now we're going to sit this to the side. We're going to turn our loom back around, facing away from us, and now we are going to start laying bands again for the second half of our bracelet. So the first thing that you're going to do is grab more of the center bands, which was the white ones, and we're going to be, for this second loom, we're going to start on the 3rd pin down. So 1, 2, 3, and that's where your first one will start. And then we will lay it to the end, from the 3rd pin to the end of the loom, we will lay them going straight like so. So this is what it will look like after they're all laid. And now we're going to lay our horizontal bands again. So that's my tie-dye color. And we're going to go down to the 4th pin. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 4th pin on the side, and that's where our first horizontal will go. Then you're going to skip the next one, come up to the one after that, and lay the next one. And remember, you lay it on every other row down the loom. This is where my last one will go, and so will yours. So coming back to the beginning, we're going to start laying our pattern again. And that's our 3 colors. So remember, we always have to lay the left side first and then the right side. So we'll start wherever your first horizontal band is, and you're going to have your 3 pattern colored bands. Make sure you lay them in the correct order that you did the first time. So my order was orange, and then blue, and then pink. And then you're going to do that same thing for the right side. And you have to do that for each horizontal band. So come up to the next horizontal one and lay that again. So we're going to go ahead and keep doing that until we're at the end of the loom. I think we only have like 1 or 2 more to do. So I'm going to zip through this, and then I'll show you what we're going to do at the end of the loom on the last section. So once you do get to the end of your loom and you're at your last horizontal, you're going to grab whatever color you start each section with, which is my orange, and we are going to lay it going straight like so. And that just makes it easier for when we reattach our bracelet. So this is what your loom should look like right now. And now we need to add on our cat bands. So we're going to come down to the 6th pin, which is where my pink bands meet up, and place a cap band. And remember, we're going to place a cap band on every other row. It should all be where your pink bands are meeting up, like so. And once you have them capped, we're going to turn our loom around facing us, and you're going to want to grab your bracelet that we set to the side. Once you have your bracelet, make sure that you have it face up. The side that should be facing you, you should be able to see the tie-dye crisscross. You don't see that tie-dye anywhere on the back of the bracelet. So make sure that your crisscross is face up. We're going to attach the middle with the bead on it to the middle pin. So I'm going to grab it from the C-clip, that white band, and you're just going to stretch it onto the pin. Make sure that you got both bands back on there before you remove the C-clip. I'm not going to remove the C-clip just yet. I'm going to leave it on there. And then you're going to locate the band with the C-clip on the right side, which is my blue one here. You're just going to pick up the C-clip, locate that blue band, and you're going to make sure that you're reattaching the entire blue band. If you need to, use your hook and go through the middle of the blue band like that. Make sure 2 bands are on it, and then you can stretch it onto the pin like so. And you're going to do the same to the left side. It's very important that you get both bands reattached. So I'm locating my blue band that's on the left side now with the C-clip on it. I'm going to put my hook through the middle of it, making sure 2 bands are there, which there is. And now I'm going to reattach them to the left pin. So you can see I have my blue connected here, the white is connected to the middle, and my blue is connected to the right. And now carefully remove each C-clip from those 3 pins. I took mine off of camera. If you find yourself really struggling to remove them, you can just loop it all up and then take them off after it's off of the loom. It's not a big deal. So what we're going to do now is start looping out of our cap bands. So we're actually going to come up here to the first cap band that we have, and then we're going to start looping out our zigzags, just like we did the first time. So I'll loop my pink back to itself, and then my blue, and then my yellow, or actually it's orange. It's supposed to be orange. And then you're going to release the blue from the center pin, and now come back to the cap band, and we can now loop the right zigzag. And then release it from the pin. We're going to get all of these patterns looped up. And we could have technically started where we connected the bracelet, but just out of habit, I've been doing it like this, so that's why I didn't start there, if anyone was wondering. After you loop your zigzag, don't forget to release it from the center. So go ahead and get the rest of your couple sections completed, and I'll come back and show you what we're going to do next. So once they are looped out, that's what it will look like. We're going to come back to the beginning where we attached our piece, and we have to come into the side pins here. Doesn't matter which side you go in. We're going to push back the blue band and grab the very bottom band, which is my orange, and loop it straight. Do the same on the opposite side, grabbing the bottom band and loop it straight. So now we're going to be looping up the straight white band and our horizontal bands. This is where you're going to want to have the rest of your beads close by. We already have our bead attached right here. So we're going to go into that pin and loop up the white. And then we will loop the horizontal to the center. We're going to start the next section by looping up the bottom white. And remember, this is where we need to add the bead on. So I'm going to grab that now. Get your bead on there, and we're going to get the band onto our hook. Slide the bead down and reattach the band. We will loop the white up again, and then the horizontal to the center. We will loop the white up, attach our bead, loop the white up, and then the horizontal. We will loop the white up, get your bead, loop the white up again, and then the horizontal. So we're going to keep doing those steps up the loom. So you just keep following along. I think we only have one more section to do. After you loop this last horizontal to the center, you're just going to reach in the top pin and bring this white forward. And that last white one that I had you lay is where we're going to attach our C-clip. So we're going to attach our C-clip there. And I do recommend you using your hook to release all of the side bands like I told you in the first section. So once you do have it off of the loom, I do recommend stretching it just to help anything that didn't fall into place. And then you're just going to locate the cap band down here and attach your C-clip. Like so. And there you have my completed Jewel Haven bracelet. So I hope you guys found this tutorial helpful. Hopefully it was easy for you. I thought it was a really cute, fun, pretty quick one. If you do make one, don't forget to share it with me on Instagram. But that will be it for today, you guys. I thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next tutorial. Thanks, guys. Bye.